Hello, anti-agers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sophie, the anti-aging princess. So today I wanted to talk about the benefit of vitamin D. Vitamin D. It's a very important vitamin that we should be taking every day. If you're vegan, if you're not vegan, it's a very important vitamin. It's also known as a hormone, and it's a powerhouse, really, vitamin in bone health. It's also very good for immune function. Vitamin D is very important in colon cancer prevention. You know, Vitamin D is usually more difficult to find in food sources unless the food is fortified with it, like you can find it in milk, in cereals, in orange juice. But so you can find small amount of vitamin D in cod liver, in mushrooms. If you're vegan, that's a very good source of vitamin D for you, mushrooms. As a vegan, you should try to eat at least 3 ounces of vitamin D. It gives you about 400 IU of vitamin D. Vitamin D is very unique in that our body is able to make it. How? Yes. By going, if you go to the sun, anyway, under the surface of our skin, there is a compound called 7-dehydrocholesterol. Okay, it's a form of cholesterol in our body that absorb the rays, specifically the UVBs. I call them UVBs for burning. So when you're exposed to the sun, and then that compound, the 7-dehydrocholesterol, it get transformed into ergocalciferol, right, which is basically a pre-vitamin D3, right. This one in turn get transformed into the active form of vitamin D that we know as cholecalciferol, which is vitamin D3, cholecalciferol. There are certain conditions actually that need to be met in order for our bodies to make vitamin D, right? One of them, which is very important, is a certain time. Times during, like, I think, like between April, May, and October, this is the time of the year when the sun rays are very strong. The skin type is very important. White skin just need about 15 minutes in the sun to absorb vitamin D. Our skin, like mine, dark skin, we need over an hour and a half, yes, to be outside under the sun to absorb vitamin D. The amount of time, in the sun, like I just mentioned, that's very important. Wearing sunblock, and clothing has benefit, and I'll say not benefit. Because wearing sunblock, it's good because it prevents cancer, but on the other hand, it blocks vitamin D from being absorbed. So people like us, people with darker skin, who have much more issues making vitamin D, because of the additional layers of melanin that we have. So the melanin is basically the pigment responsible for making our skin tan, when we are exposed in the sunlight. So we need about 15 minutes multiplied by 6, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So how much vitamin D should we be taking every day? Because vitamin D is so important, for our bodies. Vitamin D is very important to absorb calcium, to keep our bones healthy, to keep the brain healthy, right? So sun exposure is really the best, exposing your face, the arm, the legs, the back, so aim for at least 2000 IU 2000 IU daily, especially for darker skin. And if you're trying to combat depression, there have been studies that have shown that vitamin D is very important, for depression. And everyone else, 1000 IU every day, it's a good amount. Please make sure that it's vitamin D3, the active form that I spoke about, the cholecalciferol. That's the active form of vitamin D, because it does not need anymore to be converted into the body. And if you're vegan, eat about 3 ounces of portobello mushrooms daily, to get extra vitamin D. But you know uh, but in times like, during the winter, it's just best like to take a supplement. They're very easy supplement are the vitamin D drops. You go to Amazon, you type vitamin D drop. There are many companies that make it, and it costs around $10. It's very affordable. $10 with the drops, they last you about 6 months. Really, there's no reason why we shouldn't be taking, and one drop is usually like, 2000 IU or 3000 IU up to like 5000 IU. you know so especially during the winter, and anyone living in places like Canada or the northern half of the United States, where the sun rays are weaker, please rely on supplement, to get your vitamin D. And that's it. There you have it, anti-agers. Let me know your thought on vitamin D. If there's any question that you have, thank you so much for watching the video. Stay beautiful, stay loving, stay young. Merci, au revoir.